this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. All right, so this week we're going to talk about messaging again. We've had this conversation before. Some of you are not listening. Okay, no, in fairness, we actually talked about several weeks back. This was one of the early videos, like from January, I think, maybe February. We actually talked about crappy messaging, and it was specifically recruiting messages, right? I shared with you some messaging I got, people trying to recruit me. I kind of walked through what I'm looking for and what I would encourage job seekers to consider before responding to a recruiter or to a recruiting message. This is actually the other side of that. I want to dig into the 3 things that job seekers do to bomb their messaging. There are some things that I see every single day, and that my colleagues and my engineering friends and my people I know in leadership and tech leaders, they're sharing this same feedback. This is not just my opinion. This is actually coming from the people that you are trying to get in touch with and the attention that you're trying to get, and it's not working. I'm going to tell you why, all right? So 3 things that job seekers do to screw up their messaging. Number 1, you're being really vague. I get that this is like an old school sales tactic. Okay, this is like the LinkedIn 2020 version of sending a message or leaving a voicemail that says, "Hey, it's Amy at this phone number. I'm returning your call." No, you're not. I mean, stop. And so we find ourselves playing these stupid games and telling these dumb stories and trying to, game the system, and it doesn't work. So being incredibly vague is actually detrimental to your end game here. You're trying to get someone to connect with you. You're trying to ask for a referral or ask for interview advice, or you want something out of this relationship, and you're hoping to build this network or build this camaraderie that they'll help you, and you're leading with, "Hey, it's me, Joe. I just wanted to connect because we have a bunch of mutual connections, and you have dogs and I like dogs, and let's be friends." Okay, and now let me say this. I'm not suggesting that's necessarily a bad thing, unless you want a response. If you are if the message is really like, "I just want to say hi and tell you your dogs are cute," awesome, you've done that. I don't have to respond. We're connected, and that's it. But here's the thing. So many job seekers are actually trying to use that as a way to kind of nudge the door open. But the vagueness of that message leaves me with nothing to work with. So I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. Yeah, I've got cute dogs and you've said hi, and now we move on. Okay, so if your end game is to actually move things along, don't be vague. Be very clear in your intentions. Tell me what you want. We'll get into that in a moment, and just let's cut the shit and get to the point. Okay, so that's number 1. You're being really vague. The second thing job seekers do that hurts your messaging, you are giving the recipient homework. Okay, I want you to sit with that for a minute. And I'm going to explain what I mean, but this is important. I want you to think about, where is she going with this? What the hell is she talking about? I gave somebody homework. I'm a 30-year-old IT professional. I don't do homework. Here's what I mean, okay? Here's the thing. If your message goes a little something like this: "Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a recruiter, and I want to know if you have any jobs for me." What am I asking? What am I asking for the other person to do? Now, let's say I've sent this message to an accountant who knows nothing about recruiting. And I've said, hey, Joe, you're an accountant at this place where I want to work. I'm a recruiter. What do you have for me? I'm asking Joe to do the heavy lifting. I'm asking Joe to go search the career site and tell me what I'd be good for. Okay? Now, I know some of you are like, oh, but Amy, you're a recruiter. Your job is to find people's jobs. No, it's not. And we've talked about that before as well. I made a video several weeks back about what does a recruiter do anyway. I do not find jobs for people. I find people for jobs. There is a distinction. Watch the video if you're curious about that. Here's the thing though. Let's go ahead and play your game. Let's put this on the recruiter, okay? So I get that message. Hi, Amy. I'm a financial analyst. You're a recruiter at such and such company and I want to work there. Do you have a job for me? I mean, I don't know because I don't recruit analysts. I don't know anything about finance. I don't work with that part of the business or whatever. But here's the bigger idea. You're putting that on me to figure out. You're saying, I want a job and I want you to tell me which job I should look for, which job should be mine. You're giving me homework and we haven't even said hello to each other. Now, I'm not talking about down the road after we've known each other a while and, maybe I'm in a better position to help you out because I'll do that all day long when I can. I'm talking about your first message. Do not give the other person homework. It's frustrating. We feel like we're not being helpful. It doesn't feel good for anybody. And then we don't respond because we don't know what to say. And then you get mad. Which leads me to point 3. Don't get pissy. All right. This is a hard one because I get it. People behave badly online all the time. Okay. So let's say you've sent me a vague and or homework filled message. All right. Let's say that has happened. And I don't respond because of the reasons I just told you. I don't know what to do with that. I don't have the bandwidth to start searching. I don't work in your industry. You haven't really asked me a specific question. All those reasons. I may just not respond. If you then respond again and say, I see that you've read my message and, if you don't want to help me, you could just say so. I cannot tell you how many variations of that exact message I've received in the last 10 years. I mean, it's died down a little bit because if there's one thing y'all should know about me, I am 100% that recruiter that will put your shitty quote on a t-shirt and sell it. Okay, I will. I'll do it. Okay. But y'all, I need you to understand that the way to get me to respond or the way to get me to help you or try to provide some minimal value, whatever I'm capable of giving you, you're not going to shame me into it. Okay, I know this is a harsh video. I'm like replaying it in my head already and going, oh God, do I really want to post that? But here's the thing. This is the honest, transparent truth of what it looks like on our side. And it is not just recruiters. Like I said earlier, y'all, I'm hearing this from engineering managers. I'm hearing this from technical leaders. I'm hearing this from other professionals that have nothing to do with recruiting. And they're like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with this. I got 20 messages just today that said, hey, you work at such and such company. I want to work at such and such company. What do you have for me? How do I answer that? Right? I can't. So that's that. Rant over. I will step off my soapbox now. But again, there is a way to do this more effectively, and it is being very clear and transparent in your ask. Get the templates, Amy at recruitingandyogapants.com. networking in the subject line. We tackle this, we give you some specific guidelines and things to think about when you're sending those messages. I promise you, being clear in your intention, being respectful of the other person's time, and giving us a call to action that we can actually do something with that is not homework is going to get you much better results. We'll see you next week.